since writing grants a person legal possession of an animal, it follows that it constitutes a valid kinyan as well.
Hi, good morning. Sorry I missed you. Sorry I'm late. It's the 27th of August. Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
We've been writing animals here. What have you been doing? Writing the animal into Beit Din and saying, it's mine, I acquired it. We just gave the answer on top of 8A5 and the top left paragraph. That's what we were discussing, which is the reason why.
885.
8A5, the top words, the Dilma. That's where we started. Now we didn't start there. That's what we're up to now. Yeah, we started in the middle of 8A4 somewhere.
So in other words, the Gemara is saying that this is a special kinyan. It's not a kinyan Mashicha. It's not a kinyan Hagbah, but it's a kinyan that was made through riding the animal, riding on the animal.
Right.
And Rashi says even though he didn't ride it anywhere, the animal didn't go anywhere. Just the mere fact that he rode on the animal, he's riding on he's taking on top of the animal, I guess. That itself, he's in the driver's seat. That indicates that's a form of acquisition, and that's what the Mishnah is coming to be machadish to us. That these two guys have made an acquisition simply by the fact that they're riding on the animal. They're what?
Rashi's word. That's why Rashi uses the word manhiga, that he's controlling the animal.
Yeah,
that's why he's saying you're required, because he has control of the animal, and that should be good enough for an acquisition.
Okay, Rashi says aim manhiga b'raglav. He's not able to control his movement with his legs.
Well,
in other words, that you might have thought would be constituting a kinyan mashicha. You do something to the animal to cause it to go somewhere. That might be called a kinyan mashicha. I don't know. Okay, but at any rate, what we see over here, the bottom line is that we see that this particular section of the Mishnah is not teaching us the din of Rami Bar Chama. It's teaching us something else. And so therefore, this is not the place that Rami Bar Chama saw in the Mishnah to say his din. So we're still searching for Rami Bar Chama throughout this long, convoluted Mishnah. Where did he see his chiddush from our Mishnah? So we say, Ella, miseifa. And this Ella miseifa is the first two words in the line, which is 4 lines from the bottom of the page. Ella miseifa. And we go to Lou to start the reading of the Gemora.
Rather, from the end, Bisman Shehain Modin, wherever they both agree, O Sheyesh Lahem Adim, or they have witnesses, Holkin below Shavua, they divide without an oath. My what regarding what?
Right.
B'mekach umemkar.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding buying and selling. Tzricha l'meimar. It's required to say. Is it required to say?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Like what's
say they're gonna.
yeah.
So what?
Yeah. If they both agree that they both bought the item together, and they both own it together. So obviously, we're not going to give a shvua in that case. Why would we think to give a shvua in that case? So that case would be would the Mishnah need to tell us that din? That din is pashut. They wouldn't have to make a shvua in that case. So therefore, what?
Ella lav b'metzia. Rather, is it not with a found object?
Yeah.
Ushma mina. And we infer from this ha magbia metzia the chavero kana chavero. If you lift up a found object for your friend, you acquire for your friend.
Oh, so here we have Gemora says we found a proof. Let's see, we got some Rashis over here. Rashi, Dibra Maskil, Srichel Neymar.
Srichel Neymar, there's 3 lines from the bottom. Srichel Neymar, we need to say the Ha'echa here. The Kucha, the Lokacha, that it's acquired between both of them, Shiachluku, that they divided below Shua, that they divided, that this means that we do divide them up without making a Shua, that we know. Is this next Rashi still part of it? El Lav, the Metzia, isn't we talking about a found object?
Yeah.
The Ashmona, we need to learn She'ein Echad Yichol, that one isn't able Lahosh. What is that word?
Lachotfa.
Lachotfa, to grab it, the Mevia, and pick it up.
Right. Like the word Chatufim.
Metzia, and lift up the found object, the Chavero for his friend, Kana Chavero. His friend would acquire it.
So Rashi says that what we learned from this case, right? They're both Modeh. They're Modeh. What are they both? You're talking about a case of a found object, and when they're both Modeh, that the other one has also a chelik in the item. So then that means that each one of them is going to be able to have a chelik in it, and that means that a third party is not going to be able to come along from the shuk and be chotefet away from them. won't be able to grab it away from them because they have acquired it together. And why is that? At least from that din in the Mishnah, we could infer from that, we could make a diuk, to the diuk of Rami bar Chama, which is the Magbia Metzia lechavero kona chavero. Even someone who picks up an item and concedes it to his friend, really. He doesn't take it for himself at all. He picks it up and says, "I'm doing this for Jew number 2." That will result in an acquisition for Jew number 2. So that's where Rambam bar Chama got his din from, because that's what's happening in this case too. The both of these people that found the item, they're conceding that the other person has a chelik in the item as well. They're saying they have a chelik, and the other person also has a chelik in the item. They picked it up. They picked it up together. And so Rami bar Chama infers from there that even if he doesn't own it himself, he could acquire it for his friend. And then the Gemora concludes with what Rava says. Rava will tell you, no, it's not a good proof.
Rava almost says to you, he can say to you, Migo, it's a since. Because he acquires it for himself. He also can acquire it for his friend.
Right. What does Rava mean by this? What does the Gemara mean by saying that this is what Rava says? This is a Rashi over here.
Want to read the last Rashi, Lou? Lou?
What?
Lou, you there?
I'm here.
You want to read the last Rashi? It's the next to last line, starting at the end. Rava Omer. Rava can say to you.
Omer lecha, Rava says to you, Ba'alma hecha delo iskale magbia l'schus ba lo kana kavero. So it says really here he didn't intend to lift it up for the benefit of his friend, for the purpose of acquiring for his friend.
Yeah, so the Alma is
He didn't intend to do it for himself, so therefore he doesn't intend his friends can't do it either. That's the next few words of Rashi. He didn't intend to pick it up for he didn't
right. This is where Rashi's explaining that Rava is still in disagreement with Rami bar Chama. This case is not a proof to Rami bar Chama whatsoever, because he says Ba'alma as a general rule, in a general case, so to speak, where Jew number 1, when he picks it up, did not have intention to acquire the item for himself, lo kona chavero, he will not be able to successfully achieve a kinyan for his friend. So that's not like Rami bar Chama. Rami bar Chama says that we could learn that this could be inferred from what it says in the Mishnah. Even though, notice, the Mishnah didn't say that case. The Mishnah is talking about a case where both of them are acquiring it for themselves in part. They're just admitting that in addition to their chelik of the item, they're admitting that the other person also has a chelik of the item as well. And that's what Rashi is saying now. Mishnah Yisera de Masnisen, this seemingly superfluous case of the Mishnah. Lashme'inin is we come to hear from it. Mabia Metzia lo ulachavero kona af chavero. When a person picks up something in order to make an acquisition for himself, he will also be able to make an acquisition for chavero as well.
But that says no, but he's picking it up. He lifts it. The three low ula chavero. He has in mind that lifting up of both, the him and the friend.
Right.
And the friend.
Right. Then Jew number one has the ability to cause Jew number two to make an acquisition. Why? Because of this principle. Migu de zoche lenafshe. Since he was made an acquisition in the item for himself, and he's now, so to speak, an owner of the item. Zoche nami lechavre. He can then go a second step beyond that and create a kinyan on behalf of Jew number two as well. But if he's not, but if he's not planning on making any acquisition for himself, then he's not going to be able to make an acquisition for Jew number two alone.
Right.
Okay. Shkoyach.
Oh, take care.
Yeah.
Thank you. Take
All the best, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you, Rabbi. See you, Phil.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Feel better. You sound like
Phil.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Okay, be well.
I'll feel better.
Thank you.
Azak v'yamatz.
Amen.